Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you. Hi, I'm so happy to see all of your faces here. This is so exciting. I'm Miss Burnell. I'm the PMA team lead and theater and media teacher here at Holyoke High School, if you don't already know me. And I'm so excited for us to be doing our first ever formal senior capstone presentation for our performing and media arts students. So let's give them a round of applause. Today we have a lineup of 9 students that are going to be presenting to you here, but I do want to take a moment to thank our panelists that are with us today. We have Johan Rashi Vega from Holyoke Media. We have Kathy McKean from MIFA Victory Theater. Jeff Bianchini from the Print Shop. We have City Councilor Cocaine Givner. Dr. Stephen Mahoney from the Holyoke Public Schools. And Mr. Mike Cotto. And I want to thank Mrs. McKenna for being here today, our wonderful principal. So I just want to say a couple of things. I'm really honored to have been your teacher for the last few years, guys. You're gonna make me really proud today. I know you are. So before I start to cry, I'm going to invite our first presenter, Jeremiah Tirado.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremiah Tirado, and I am happy to be here presenting to you my senior capstone project, popular scene reenactment using green screen features. I first was involved in PMA project during my freshman year of high school when a senior at the time asked me to be in their senior capstone project. She was doing reenactments of popular scene, so I decided to do the same thing because that's what inspired me to join performing in media arts. I decided to do my own scene reenactments, but I wanted to explore how to use a green screen. Over the years as a PMA student, I was able to take a variety of art classes such as visual art, theater, and graphic design. I helped to construct some sets and props for theater company productions as well. Highlights from these classes are when I was able to make masks in art class, designing my websites for my own theme park, and the time Devonny and I acted out The Way of the Wiffle Ball for an acting competition during the pandemic. That was a fun time. When thinking about popular movies, right away I thought of The Titanic, The Matrix, and Psycho. So those were the movies I wanted to reenact clips from. In the beginning, I had a hard time with transcribing the script, so Miss Burnell told me to start working through some of the filming instead of spending a lot of time on transcribing. Miss Burnell reserved some of the media center for a few days, and with the help of some junior PMA students, like my boy Miguel right there, I was able to get started with the experiment. We started doing some camera work and tested out some of the effects using the green screen. In PMA, we do not have access to high-end equipment, so we made the most out of what we had available, like we always do. Okay. So we made the most out of what we had available, like we always do. We somehow just make it work. So we used an iPad and other props to replace props that were needed for each scene. Once we filmed each of the clips for each of the scenes, I began to edit the scenes together. This was challenging because I did not have a lot of experience with this because I did not take Intro to Media with Miss Burnell, and we do not have access to higher-end equipment such as Adobe Premiere in our class. I know this is wild out of context. One of the biggest challenges when editing was time constraints, since the people helping me could not stay after school. So we were limited to working on the project during class time. On a few occasions, my gym teacher let me work on a project during class period, which was helpful. Another challenge that was actually hilarious was the green screen editing on iMovie. This program really doesn't allow for much adjusting of the video clips, so we really couldn't overlay on the backgrounds. This made for a lot of laughter though, because when Miss Brunel had a green bodysuit with a hood she wanted me to try out for a couple scenes, I looked ridiculous in the suit. I even looked like Gumby. Also, when we edited the clips, the green outfit wasn't on my face properly, and it made it look silly. Also, since we couldn't move my face in the overlay for the actual video clips, my face pops up in the scenes randomly. A perfect example of this is when the stomach of the victim in the cycle scene pops up. My face almost popped up, and I was like her belly button. In this project, the highlights was working with friends, trying out the effects, and problem solving. We had a lot of laughs, and I sincerely want to thank Miguel, Star, and Kiari for their effort and encouragement on this project. They really stepped in to help and direct and guide me through the challenges I was facing. That was a typo. Sincerely. After graduation, I plan on working in construction and starting out as an apprentice in the Carpenters Union. To prepare myself for this, I recently completed the Community Works program, where I learned how to do carpentry work such as scaffolding for a construction site. I also learned how to do sanding, painting, and taping. I'm excited about this future career because I like money, and carpenters make great money.
Thank you.
I look forward to all that is coming my way, and thank you for your time. Does anyone have any questions? You missed it.
So we're going to only have the panelists ask questions because of time constraints. Okay, but your question we can answer in class tomorrow. I really appreciate that.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
So what did you learn? What did you learn about yourself?
Honestly, I learned that I'm a lot better when I work with people than working by myself. And now I know it's okay to ask for help when I need it. Any questions?
What lessons do you see taking from this Capstone experience moving forward as you pursue a career in carpentry or construction?
Oh, I actually wrote something about that. Hold on. Problem solving and collaborating, really. I learned how to communicate with people. I learned how to, ask for help when I need it, and I really just, overall learned how to, all right, hold on. I know I wrote it in here somewhere. I wrote it at the bottom. Okay. Well, I've been speaking, planning out group projects which involve problem solving and working within a short amount of time. So it kind of helped me with time constraints. Now I can know how to work on that and work around problems instead of just letting it consume me. Feel me? Yeah, clapping. I like people clapping. Good.
You got one more question here?
I have one sort of a technical question. I know that working with something like green screen and limited resources is hard. It's really hard, and that's when you realize how complicated it is to make special effects. You figured out a way to do something that knowing that you use what you use, it was really hard. How do you feel as an accomplishment being able to show what you were able to create with those limited resources?
Honestly, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. Like I said, without my friend Miguel over there and a couple other friends, I don't know if I would have even been able to present this today, I'm going to be honest. And I'm actually happy and grateful that he had his time and he used his time to help me, you know?
And now, Nevaeh Lopez, everybody. Yeah, the one that's worn out.
My name is Nevaeh Lopez, and it seems like just yesterday that I was sitting in freshman seminar choosing my academy. There was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to be in the Performing and Media Arts Academy. From the ages of 2 to 15, I was a ballet dancer, so I always felt like being on stage was for me. My first experience in a play was when I was in 2nd grade. Our class performed from a book, and I was the narrator, a role I earned due to my high reading level. I used to read movie scripts and act them out with my sister, and I would make my cousins and friends act in my music videos filmed on my Leap pad. When I came in as a freshman, I knew I wanted to join the theater company. I was very nervous too, because none of my friends were interested in attending a meeting with me. When the first meeting finally came around, I asked a random kid that I sat with in English class to come with me to the meeting, and the rest is history. Over the last 4 years in theater company, I have had a lot of wonderful experiences that have brought me to where I am today, presenting you with my senior capstone. The first production I was ever a part of at Holyoke High School was 2019's Haunted Mysteria Hearst. In 2020, I auditioned to be in tracks and was cast as an understudy, and I eventually took on the role of a waitress. The first play after COVID was low-budget high school play. I played Sam, the role I wanted and the role I landed off the bat. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I played Veruca Salt. When She Kills Monsters needed a narrator, I was asked to step up, and it was the right decision. Being the narrator as my last role was a very bittersweet nod to my role in 2nd grade as a narrator. This year, I was also given the opportunity to serve as the vice president of the theater company, where my leadership skills were tested. As vice president, I was often one of the seniors asked to lead activities and be a good influence to the younger students. This was very challenging, to have to step up and be a leader. I have also had the opportunity to work with many different people to bring projects for the theater company to life, which has given me lots of valuable experiences. Being vice president has helped me to develop my communication skills, my ability to lead and motivate others, and my strategic thinking skills. With my love for performing, I also have a love for photography, nature, and animals. It was around 6th grade when I got super interested in the photo editing app called Visco, where you could edit and upload pictures that you took. I just loved being able to experiment with different objects and filters. I will be attending UMass Boston this fall for business management and marketing. And although photography won't be my main focus, I would like to carry it with me through college and into whatever career path I take. Being a business major gives me more freedom when it comes to my career, so if everything works out, I would love to open some kind of photography company, but that's only one of the business ideas that I have. So for this project, I chose to create a National Geographic style photography portfolio full of pictures I've taken during high school. For the project, I had to take my time and look through my pictures to find my favorites. I decided to categorize them into themes where I would create a page for each theme. Since design is such a big aspect in marketing, this is very relevant and helpful to my future. Every page in my portfolio is a category of importance to me. Quiet pictures have the remarkable ability to convey a sense of tranquility, offering us a much-needed pause from the chaos of our daily lives. I chose these pictures for my quiet picture section because the soft colors gently draw us into their frames, encouraging us to pause, reflect, and appreciate the subtle beauty that often goes unnoticed. There is something magical about witnessing dawn. The promise of a day is inspiring. Capturing this moment through photography allows us to freeze time and forever hold on to the serene awakening. Sunrise pictures carry a sense of hope and renewal. Each dawn signifies a fresh start, a chance to let go of yesterday and embrace today. Sunset pictures serve as reminders of the fragility of life. They teach us to cherish each passing day, reminding us that there is beauty in the end. Pictures of water have a unique ability to awaken our senses. Whether it's a still river, an island on the ocean, we are reminded of the tranquility and harmony that water brings to our world. Just as water adapts to any container it's in, it teaches us the power of flexibility and adaptation in our own lives. When I was in Costa Rica this summer, I only had a cheap $60 camera with me, but I took pictures of everything. I ended up losing the SD card, but I cherish the pictures that I got to transfer. They remind me of the breathtaking landscapes, rich biodiversity, and warm-hearted people I spent my time with. Costa Rica's rich cultural diversity, coupled with my experience of living and working in unfamiliar surroundings, really changed who I am as a person. I had the opportunity to create lasting memories, form lifelong connections, and contribute to a cause greater than myself. Whether it's a cat or a dog, animal pictures are guaranteed to make you smile. I love animals. Through visual representation of animals, we can learn about different species, their behaviors, habitats, and the delicate balance that sustains our ecosystems. You can't retain that much from a cat or a dog, but I still enjoy taking pictures of them. The most important thing about this project for me is the fact of when these pictures were taken. A lot of these pictures were taken during hard times, and they aren't a reflection of that at all, just like acting. I just wanted to thank a few people. First, Ms. Burnell for being my director for the past 4 years, my teacher for 3, and an overall mentor and support system. The Holyoke High School Theater Company and all of its members. Shane for being the president alongside me and being an amazing friend and actor. Lewis for being the random kid I sat with in English class, who's been my best friend for the past 4 years and doing every show and theater event with me. Miss Belden for always being there to listen and help me find solutions for my problems. And finally, a huge thank you to my mother for being my longest support system.
I'm going to ask a question every time.
Yeah, go ahead, please, do.
So, print or digital?
It's digital right now,
Digital.
yeah.
Have you done print?
I would love to at some point.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
We still have time to print, you know.
Was there a particular picture that was challenging to get, more challenging than some of the others?
Not really, because I didn't really go in it thinking of specific pictures I wanted. I just kind of went with the flow.
How did you lose your SD card?
I just had a couple that I was transferring back and forth between cameras and between like my transferring block that I had, and it just got misplaced somehow. It's probably in my room somewhere, so it might turn up, but for now it's lost.
What do you think between the experiences you've got being involved in all the different plays and production, plus your own skills, are you ready to take over the marketing and even the media performing scene in the region? I totally see a strong potential for you to succeed, but how do you feel at this moment that you're able to do that?
I feel like I've had a lot of experience, and I still have so much to learn, just like everybody else. But I feel like with my experience and from what I plan on doing in the future, I definitely feel confident about what I can do. But I have more to learn, for sure.
Hello, my name is Daynelis Alindato, and for my senior capstone, I decided to film and edit a promotional video to help recruit people for the band of Holyoke High School. So first of all, before anything else, I want to do a brief introduction about myself. As I said before, my name is Daynelis, but people mostly call me Danny. I'm also a percussionist here at the HHS band, which means that I play anything involving any instrument that makes sound when it's hit, shaken, or scratched. Also, from a young age, my love for music began when my father used to take me into this little studio that we would have at my house, and we would make music for hours. My father also taught me how to play the guitar when I was younger, and since then my love for music grew more and more until I wanted to learn every instrument there is. In August of 2021, I decided to join the Holyoke High School band, and since then, I love being there. And the environment, I also love how many opportunities I had during that time there. Not only did I learn percussion, but I also got the opportunity to learn how to play strings and wind instruments. I also got to learn how to deal with and manage fixing instruments as a whole. Doing so helped me learn so much and get to know more about instruments. Next. So my purpose for this presentation is to tell you how the band was an important part of my high school experience here at HHS, and I also want to inspire people into joining and have the same experience as I did. Next. So what led me to PMA was the arts and performance, in which being in PMA helped me realize how much of a diversity we have. And I learned to be myself and how important it is to have confidence in myself, especially. And something really important that helped me go through this is to do not be scared of anything, and if something goes wrong, it is okay, and just keep going with what you have. Third. So my progress during these 2 years has evolved by a lot. I can now do so much, and which is something I've always hoped to achieve in the future. I'm still at a point where I can still learn so much and discover new things involving music, and I'm looking forward to learn more and see what's out there. And if you're looking forward to joining for your progress, you'll easily get to know so much about how to read music and how to play any instrument you want. You also get a lot of help from the people that you're going to be with, and you're definitely not going to be alone. Next. The things I learned while being here, I learned to work in teams and see how important it is to coordinate, and which is something you'll see much of an impact because it really helps with what you're going to be doing. And communication is key, and it's very important so that you can build friendship, especially, and get a better sense of what you're doing. Next. So for my future goals, I'll be heading to the Air Force and land myself on a pilot career. And personally, for my future goals, I'll be used this as a tool to keep moving forward and keep doing what I love most, and I'll keep learning as I go. And now I have a little video.
What's your opinion on the band?
On the band? We got 5 gentlemen like Jael in the band. Setting good examples for the youth. We got a good community in the band. We're a great community in the band. Everyone's friends with everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't exclude over here. As far as music wise, we're just like every other band. We have our mistakes. We have our downs. But we have our ups too. You know what I'm saying? And today we're gonna hope it's only gonna be an up. We don't wanna mess up. We're a lot of people today. So we have a strong mentality. You can't break this bond apart. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my thoughts on the band. That's my band.
You might think that you're alone, but in reality, you're never alone. Everybody's friends with everybody, as Aiden said. It's something that I realized not that long ago. Now look at me. Everybody relates to each other. It's amazing. I just love it.
Thank you.
We ate good.
I forgot my drinking orange. Yeah, look at you. Before we eating.
As for music-wise, we always make sure that everybody has fun and that they're making the right choices and playing correctly, and which is really important because everybody trusts each other and we can just give out opinions about what we do.
Miss. Oh. Make sure I got my house phone, please.
anybody will be willing to teach you an instrument that you really want to learn is immaculate because everybody's willing to help you and they won't judge you. We also had the great opportunity to participate in the same statue parade here at Holyoke.
Here today with their green pom-poms, scared away from their traditional purple and white for Holyoke night, so celebrating the Irish spirit.
Right by their own school. In fact, that's one of our broadcast locations right there close. Yeah, let's listen to this one.
Enjoy their march through the streets of Holyoke.
For my personal experience, I'm very grateful and happy that I got to meet such amazing people in here in HHS, especially people that have the same taste and also the same interest as me, which involves music. I'm so happy and I'm so glad to be calling you all guys my friends and people that I met in high school. And if you're considering joining the band, I hope you guys get the same experience as I did, and I hope that maybe you can consider this as a memorable moment because you get to learn so much and share with people. And you get to build up a lot of friendship, which is something very important that you really should consider.
Well, thank you so much for listening to my experiences. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Any questions? I'm going to go to the Air Force and land myself in a pilot opportunity.
How do you think this kind of the experiences you had in the band will help you?
It helps me work in teams and coordination, and which is the key basically to land my job in one of those. Thank you so much.
What did this Capstone process and now the almost finished experience, what did it add to your understanding, appreciation of your time in the band?
So it really helped me learn a lot, and which was really important to me because having friends that have the same interests as you and also doing what you love is very important, and which is I'm looking forward to more of that in the future.
So carrying that forward, when you're in the Air Force, will you look to be finding like-minded Air Force musicians?
I hope so. And if they do, that's awesome. But coordination, as I said, and practice and communication will help me a lot throughout my future plans. Thank you.
You are an outstanding and amazing storyteller. This video spoke so strong about your feelings, and you capture moments that are unique and so personal in a way that is compelling. So you have a strong superpower on that. How do you see yourself maybe telling a story of your success and your journey as you joined the Air Force maybe 5 years from today?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think that through, not gonna lie to you. I think I'll look back to it and just think. That's a really tough question, I'm sorry. I'll be looking forward into like saying that was what made me grow more, And yeah, I'll look back to it. Thank you.
Great. And now we have Gray Kennedy.
It's working. I don't know. Just press that button right there.
That button. And then this one to go back?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. My name is Grayson Kennedy-Rigg. I've been attending Holyoke High for all of my high school experience, and I plan to study psychology at Westfield State. My years of schooling for the past few years have given me the passion to pursue this field. High school is a defining factor in the developmental stages of humans, given the ages that we are enrolled in it. My goal is to bring light to the blind spots created, My goal is to bring light to the blind spots in the created support systems around mental health that is provided both in schools and just the general education system as a whole. I'm a pretty open person right now, but I haven't always been that way. I'm shaking right now even. I've experienced a lot of hardships during my high school years. I'm openly trans, and I've identified this way for about 6 years of my life, so most of my important development has been under the scrutiny of having to go through all of that. And through having classes with PMA and having Ms. Brunel as a teacher, I've just learned to use my voice when I need to, which helps a lot when you're trans. I've also been working with the River Valley Counseling Center program in the teen clinic for their sanctioned therapy in the school. Without either of these, both PMA and the teen clinic, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have a lot of way to go, but it's definitely helped. I'm going to briefly mention suicide. I'd like to preface this because it's a sensitive topic, both for myself and possibly people in the audience. I sent out a survey asking students their opinions on the resources provided in the school, including the teen clinic, the guidance counselors, the adjustment counselors, and I'd like to share some of the data. These are just pronoun. I just figure it out. But majority of our school is cisgender, and it's important for me to say that a lot of mental health issues end up affecting people more in diverse communities and marginalized communities. That's the word I was looking for. That's one of my points. I asked students if they knew where the teen clinic was in Holyoke High. It's located right across from the guidance office down the hallway toward our cafeteria. And 66% of 153 students said that they do know, which is good, but that's only 2/3 of the school. That's 2 out of 3 people. I still don't think that's enough, because there's untapped potential for people who really need this. I said the wrong question, didn't
The first one, what is the teen clinic and where?
Oh, yeah. So same thing, because the data is quite literally the same. I asked students if they meet with their adjustment counselors, and in the parentheses they're all listed there. Majority says no, and the yellow percent, which takes up 1/4 of the graph, says they don't even know what that is. And I think that's a problem, since it's quite important for students to be correctly adjusted and to have like pride and hope in their future. I asked students if they felt safe and supported in school, and thankfully 64% out of 153 responses said that they do. But 12.4% said no, and 23.5% weren't completely sure. The positive scale on the responses is good in my opinion, but there's always room for improvement. I asked this and offered the chance to for an open response question, or open response. Do you trust the people who work / run the mental health services? Majority said yes, but majority is also 56%, and that's just barely over half. And from the responses that I got on the open response, a majority of the students that don't feel comfortable talking to adults in the school, it's because they don't particularly trust them. I added examples from the different responses I got. You can't tell them anything. If you tell them too much, you get in trouble. If you tell them too little, you get into trouble. And if you do something that may harm yourself, current or past, they make it worse or even more difficult for you. Even the staff themselves know and are dissatisfied with the way this is. From personal accounts that I've heard from friends and other peers, they don't feel safe asking for help when they need it, because sometimes the help that they need is bigger than what some would consider normal, and when they ask for that help, it's more of a panic response, because a lot of the help that some people need may be because they're not doing good and they know it, but they don't want to get into trouble and have the reaction that would make it worse. Because teens make up 15% of suicides. It's not the largest number, but it's still the second leading cause of teen death. The first being just accidental cases of death. And school as a structure of development is meant to facilitate growth in individuals in a group setting so that we can care for each other and protect each other. And our biggest problem with data from here is that we just don't trust each other, and it doesn't make for good mental health environments. Many students and faculty members asked me after I sent out this about adding a question relating to teachers that they may be connected to, because not many people use the mental health resources, but they rely on teachers that they trust, which I think is great, but I find it to be a problem because not everyone has the voice to talk to teachers or even let it known that they're struggling. And what I want to do is I just want to create an environment where people do feel safe and people are proud of themselves and confident enough to ask for help when they need it, and not to feel selfish or to feel as if there's going to be a horrible reaction to it. Because I've lost many people to suicide. I've struggled with it myself. My friends have. So many of my loved ones have struggled with this, and it's never a good thing to lose someone to themselves. And that's just my point at the end of the day. I asked students what changes they wanted in the school. I liked the response about education about trans and LGBTQ issues. because I think our school is honestly lacking in covering those at some points, and I'd like to see a change in that. This quite simple one, telling students where the offices are. I honestly think that we should tell students, like on their first days here, where each of these offices are and what they provide, because so many students don't know about the teen clinic. So many students don't know that like meeting with their counselors and adjustment counselors is like a thing that they can do. I also want to see like including mental health days that are excused, not just like like you saying to your teacher, hey, it's a mental health day, but you still get marked absent, because I don't think it's fair to like mark someone absent when they really should not be there, because mental health days are really important. Obviously there needs to be like rules put in place about it, because people are bound to mistreat it, but I think it's still really important and should be discussed. And the consistency in action taken about issues in the school, because bullying also plays a huge part in like these suicide rates, especially around marginalized individuals. And I think if the right actions are taken when there are problems, then that is a way of suicide prevention. And just general more speak about mental health issues, not just in schools, but as a society ourselves. I think if we were more open, we would be able to be more empathetic toward the people around us, and by then prevent any like too soon tragedies. I also listed some of my sources, but at the end of the day, humans are emotional creatures, and for us to not mold our society around that, I think it's a problem. And I'd like to go forth in my career and be able to help people, whether it be as like a psychiatrist or a therapist or just someone working in the mental health field. I just want to create a change that benefits everyone, no matter what, and that's about it. I would honestly love to. I think that would be just a really good thing, because I know that the teachers, or rising teachers, also do that, like people going into the educational programs. Yeah.
Guys, please don't talk right now. We're still in the question portion. Thank you.
Great. First of all, I want to commend you for creating a moment so important in doing such a successful effort on feeling comfortable by being vulnerable. I see you, I appreciate that you did that, and you got the undivided attention of the whole group as you were presenting. So congratulations on that. And I guess the question is, in a way, a proposal, because I think the work you did on gathering this information and also including your own personal experiences through your own and the ones of people you know and that you see their own struggles, it becomes an important aspect that actually, you said it, there is no voice that speaks on behalf of this community. I would love to offer you that space at Holyoke Media so you can have that space to present, to talk, to communicate, to engage, to share and support the youth that needs it so much. So it's just a matter of taking that step. You are more than welcome and supported, and I appreciate all the work you did with this presentation today. Thank you for that.
Can I just make a comment? I just want to tell you that at your age, I didn't have 1 ounce of the courage that you have. And you are a breath of fresh air to this world, and we need more people like you.
And now, without further ado, Melendez.
Alright, hi everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Melendez, and for my project, I decided to focus on a short horror film alongside with Sajanie co-directing it. I just want to thank everyone in the audience for letting me present my project with you guys today. I really appreciate it. Before I start talking about my movie, I do want to elaborate more on my history with the theater company and how I got here. So my freshman year, believe it or not, I didn't really want to join theater. I didn't want to join any clubs at all because I was this shy little freshman, and I didn't want to really step out of my comfort zone. That was until I got really close with Nevaeh in my freshman year, and she convinced me to attend my first theater company meeting, so shout out to her. Coming in new as a freshman to the theater company was really scary because everyone there is so much older than you, and you just feel like you're out of place, but I don't regret joining at all. The theater company has shown me so many things about myself, and I feel like I've met new people that helped me break out of my shell. As a senior in PMA, it's really crazy to see how far I've gone with Ms. Burnell and the theater company, whether it was acting on stage or joining behind the scenes. I always had such a good time working on all of the theater company projects. Especially taking the Theater 2 class last year with Ms. Burnell helped me out, helped me prepare for the class that we're taking this year. The script writing assignments definitely prepared me to write my own movie and write the plot to my movie. Scene creating was also really fun and helpful, and so were the improv games. For my next slides, I will be showing you guys a couple of pictures of my past performances and to talk about my roles in them. So this is the haunted house in Wisteria Hearst Museum, and I played a porcelain doll with Nevaeh. For tracks, this is my freshman year. This was after the haunted house. I got casted very last minute as the high school boy. This is low budget high school play. This was last year, and I got casted as Javier. And this was also a student written play by a senior last year. This was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that happened earlier this year, and I played Mrs. Beauregard, and this was my favorite role because it was iconic. So, yeah. All right, and these are just 2 other productions that I've helped out with. This is Clue on Stage that I helped with Stage Crew, aka Body Crew, if you know, you know. Then this is West Side Story, where I played one of the Shark gang members. So that's me and the other guys bowing in our last performance, and me for just killing it on the dance floor. Okay, so now I'm going to talk more about my movie. So the movie is called Abandoned. It is directed by me and co-directed by Sajanie. The movie is basically about a group of teens, and they sneak into this abandoned building, and they think they're going to explore and have fun, but little do they know they're about to meet their worst nightmares, so you just have to stay tuned for that. So now I'm just going to talk about a little bit about the challenges and process that I had with my movie and my project in general. So one of the things I will say that I'm most proud of about this movie is the incredible cast that myself and Burnell have assembled. I got to work with some amazing actors who are also a part of the theater company, and I think me and the cast did a phenomenal job to bring these characters to life. Another thing I'm proud of is that the whole movie was improvised, meaning that there was no script, so everyone had to make up their own lines throughout the whole movie. And that was really cool, but it was also one of the struggles that me and the cast had as a whole, because there would be times where some people would talk over each other or some people would cut each other off. So it was difficult in that sense, but I think everyone adapted to it very quickly, and I think it turned out really good. And my movie also gives you guys, the juniors in the audience, an opportunity to see what you can do in PMA and in the theater company with the support of Ms. Burnell and your other peers. Here are a couple of pictures. That's Savi in the back, the corner. And these are some pictures that I took during my auditions of the movie. And if you guys didn't know, my auditions had a different storyline, so that's why it kind of looks like this. I didn't really have the time frame for my old storyline, so that's when I went to go help out one of my fellow senior Camryn Rist's project. I helped out with makeup. He filmed it in the same location that I did, which was the Nevaeh Victory Theater. And as soon as I walked in there, I started exploring the place, and I knew immediately that I wanted to do my movie here. So I scratched all the scenes that I filmed in the school, and I changed the plot with Ms. Burnell, and we got to film here in one day. So we filmed my entire movie in just 7 hours, I think it was. So, yeah. 4 hours, sorry. Yeah, so unfortunately, the idea that I had to film in the school, I didn't really have the time frame for it, so we did switch out to filming in the Nevaeh Victory Theater, but I think it came out cooler than it would have in the school, so yeah. Here's some more pictures of the filming process of us in the Victory Theater, and that's Julia, we miss her. And yeah. And then for the future, I do want to continue on doing theater and stuff related to that. So I did apply and get accepted into HCC to major in theater. And I just listed off some things I want to do in my future career. I do want to write my own book, start my own TV show, and get my bachelor's degree to become a teacher to teach young actors. I got inspired by Ms. Burnell. And then I also just want to train heavily on singing and dancing, because those are two new things I've been more passionate about. And then, holy shit, my trailer. Sorry.
Come on, let's do a bunch of things to fair with the seniors. I plan on good work for you. Are you really gonna blow them?
There's a lot of rules and no time to put.
There's no way I'll be able to go. So we gotta get out of this and get legally because we're gonna fucking die.
And yeah. So feel free to ask any questions regarding my movie, my time in the theater company, and just any questions in general. Thank you. Any questions from the panel? Sorry, that was...
Do you ever become like the teacher? Can I be your assistant?
Sure. I would love an assistant. Thank you. Any more questions from the panel?
Yes, absolutely fascinated. When you create a trailer that gets that level of excitement with all the elements in that, I know that the story and the film is going to be a blast.
Thank you.
Is actually, now the question is, have you thought on how do you want to make like the big premiere of your movie?
I was talking to Ms. Burnell about it, and we wanted to screen it probably after this, but I don't know how that's planning out. But I did want to probably do it in the auditorium so we can see on a big screen, but I don't know. We just haven't gotten into the details. But I would want to do that.
We should talk because it can be not only here in the auditorium, but also we can make it maybe a big screen presentation for the movie that can be
It's about 12 minutes long, right? 12 minutes. It's about a 12-minute movie, yeah. So cool, awesome. That's great.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit more about going to Plan B and changing locations, and like what was involved in coordinating all of that.
So when I first wrote the script, I did want to base it on the characters that you've seen of them attending school, and that was really supposed to bring out the characters' personalities and stuff. But the way I wrote the script, there was a lot to film, and we didn't really have space in the school, and there was a lot of things to look out for, like us pretending like we're dying. So I didn't know if it was going to be appropriate to film in school. So that really did take a toll on me, because when I had to change it out of nowhere, it was just stressing me out, and I really didn't think I was going to finish it on time. But when I seen the Victory Theater, I had no hesitation, and I knew what to do for the change, and I knew what I was gonna do, and yeah, sorry, that was really messy of an answer.
Second question, and that is just, what have you seen Brunel do with as a teacher that has made you want to be like, yeah, that looks like something I could.
Her screaming at everyone telling us what to do. I want to do it. I'm just kidding.
I don't actually do that, though.
No, I'm just joking. She's really nice. Yeah. No, but just the way that she has so much passion teaching us theater, and just the way that she's changed so many people's lives, just like mine. There you go. That's the more appropriate answer. All right. Any more questions from the panel?
Yeah. How did you solidify the need for theater?
So after I seen the space, I talked to Ms. Brunel the same day, and I told her I want to do my movie here, and she said she was going to talk to Kathy to see if she can get the space reserved for me. So thank you, Kathy, for letting me do it. So yeah, after Brunel talked to Kathy, she let me know right away that we had the space on for one specific day, and I told the whole cast, and we all did it. You're welcome. Any more questions from the panel?
You better come see every play when you graduate.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you.
Now we have Sajanie Cotto-Batlle. I'm going to say it right for the first time in your life.
Okay. All right. So, hello everyone. My name is Sajanie Cotto-Batlle, and I am very excited to present the thought process behind the movie that I assistant directed and acted in with my dear friend Luis Melendez. The reason that I decided to become an assistant director was because I have always been passionate about portraying a story to an audience and conveying a message through dialogue and feelings. This is the main reason that I knew joining the Performing and Media Arts Academy was the best fit for me. When I heard of all of Luis's creative ideas for his film, I began to get this feeling of excitement. Later, when he hosted auditions to decide a cast for the film, I knew I had to jump in head first. I got casted as Talia, a vivacious teenage girl who likes to have fun and explore new things, even if it involves some danger. Now here is a never-before clip of Talia in the movie Abandoned.
Action.
Every time that I would put my input, Luis would always receive it so well. We became a really good team, and I knew I wanted to be involved in making his project become the best it could be. I believe he saw that as well, which is what led him to asking me to become his assistant director for his senior capstone in the first place, which later became my senior capstone as well. It was an offer I couldn't refuse. My role was collaborating with Luis to create a storyline and helping the other actors perform to their best. So these are just some of my favorite pictures from behind the scenes. There is me and Luis reacting to something that happens in the movie that you'll just have to stay tuned for. Here's a picture of Lincoln with our very expensive special effects, aka Dolly Store blood. And then here's a picture of Kian. You'll see what his character is when you watch the movie, just being his goofy little self. And then here's a picture of Sabi, and I just love it because he has so much character. Oh, not yet. So I first became involved with the PMA Academy in 2021, my sophomore year, when I decided to star in my own one-woman show, I Love Lucy episode, where I put my spin on how I think Lucy and Ricky would be like had they had to deal with the pandemic like we all did during that time. And yes, by one-woman show, I mean I played both Lucy and her husband, Ricky. I was really proud of the final product, and so was Miss Brunel, because she made sure to broadcast it to the entire school and post it on YouTube. So here is a clip of one of my very first media projects back when I was a sophomore in 2021. Oh, wrong button. So then in 2022, I decided to take my acting way more seriously, and I auditioned for the HHS Theater Company's high school play Radium Girls, where I fortunately got casted as the lead role of Grace Fryer. Then later that year, I did my first musical, Grease, where I got casted as Miss Lynch, the principal. Then my senior year, I got casted in the theater company's play She Kills Monsters as Calliope, then as Graziella in West Side Story, the musical. So these are just all the productions that I did in 2022 and all the productions I did in 2023, my junior and senior year. Okay, so this is me signing off. I would just like to say, getting this experience on the stage really showed me that the stage is the place where I feel most at home. It gives me a sense of belonging that doesn't compare to anywhere else, and without PMA, I wouldn't have been able to discover that for myself. This project embraced my artistic side, and most of all, allowed me to have fun while also being in a leadership role. It showed me that wonderful things can happen when you let your creativity take over. This project will inspire future plans for me because I got to experience how fun this was, so it encourages me to keep on making and acting in films. Co-directing this movie taught me how to collaborate with people, which is something that I will need when I pursue a psychology degree at Westfield State this fall. To anyone who may be on the fence about stepping into the spotlight, please take that leap because everyone deserves to shine, even if it is just for a second. And before I go, I would like to thank Louis for including me in this amazing project. I had such an amazing time, and you are the best person to work with, and I love you so much. And also to the amazing Miss Brunel. I wouldn't be where I am without you. I love you so much. You changed all of our lives, and you pushed me to be the best that you knew I could be. So, I love you all very much. Thank you. Oh, any questions? Honestly, no, because he involved me so much. We really planned out the storyline, and with every scene, it wasn't just it's just me doing this one, it's just him doing this one. We both did everything pretty much. Well, no, he did a lot of himself because he was directing, but we collaborated in an amazing way. I felt always super involved, and all of the ideas that I had, he loved. All the ideas that he had, I loved. Wait, did that make sense? Yeah. Anyways, okay. So yeah, there wasn't really a number one, number two type of thing. We were just pushing each other to create the best possible product that we could.
So how do you feel with Queen, though?
Any other questions? Anything else?
One thing that you mentioned that became so important was the opportunity to work together with Greece. How do you see collaboration with other creatives and talented people around you in your professional development will be for you to continue growing?
So I think I have always been good at collaborating with people. I feel like I can I can always, if I don't like agree with someone's like idea, I can always execute it in a way where both parties are happy. And I think that you asked some really good questions. I think this whole experience will just help me to collaborate with anyone. It doesn't matter what kind of media project, or it doesn't even have to be a media project. I know that the skills that I got from doing this project will really help me in my future plans with being a psychiatrist and pursuing that degree, because that whole field is surrounded by collaboration with people and understanding people and taking their thoughts and mentality and making it better for the best possible outcome. So, thank you.
Thank you. And now for Devonny Lopez.
Hello everyone, my name is Devonny Lopez and I have been a part of the theater company for 2 years now. For my project, I decided to create a fashion/art lookbook for this project. Why? Well, I love fashion for starters, but I decided to create this lookbook to give different viewpoints in fashion. You see, growing up, I love fashion. I get yelled at for being late every morning trying to pick an outfit. I got yelled at this morning by my mom for being late. Although I love fashion, I wasn't always able to get what was new and trendy. I had to make do with what I had. With what I had, I indulged in different styles, even if it wasn't the most popular. I soon realized that it wasn't about how expensive a piece of clothing could be or how popular it was. It was about who put on the piece of clothing. So with my project, I hope to inspire others to be themselves. You see, two of my biggest inspirations fashion-wise, growing up were Kanye and A$AP Rocky. They inspired the way I dressed throughout my entire childhood. One reason they did was because of their versatility and their comfortability in what they wore. I saw them put on different styles and I wanted to do the exact same thing. Two books that also inspired me is a lookbook called Fairy Tales by Alexa Demi, which is a darker lookbook itself, and oddly enough, the Pink Panther cartoon, specifically the 1969 version that I would watch at my grandma's house. The mix of the darker, grungy images with the lighter, colorful cartoon really helped me inspire the overall theme for this book. Here are 3 overall looks for the book. The first one, I was inspired by Michael Jackson. So I'm wearing all leather, I have long hair, and I'm in all black with a red background. The second one is almost the exact opposite. I have short hair, there's no general theme, but there's a white backdrop. And so the last one was inspired by The Weeknd. It's a mix of both. I have medium hair, there's a sunset behind me, I have a red suit, and I have a mustache, which will not be coming back at all. I've been a part of PMA since sophomore year, but I joined the theater company 2 years ago, thanks to Miss Burnell. She asked me to audition for a low-budget high school play, a student-written and directed production. At first, I thought theater was weird. And I didn't really talk loud and I had zero experience in acting, unless you count the one play I did with Shane in 2nd grade. But after I auditioned with that, I fell in love with acting. The following year, my senior year, I auditioned for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I got casted as Willy Wonka, a very, very strange role that I would not like to play again. After that, I auditioned for my first musical, and I got Bernardo in West Side Story. And here's me and Mr. Bouchard, the day of Spirit Court. He put on my wig and announced me like that. So, fortunately, I'm at the end of my slides because I'm super nervous right now. But I would like to give a special thank you to Ms. Brunel and the rest of the theater company for these last 2 years. I'd also like to thank them for making me comfortable enough to be myself and to not judge me nor anybody else up on that stage, because it is very, very hard to get comfortable. I'd also like to thank Miss Weber. Don't cry, please. She's helped me through this whole journey and really pushed me every single day to show up and try. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my mom. She's right over there. My mom had no clue why I joined theater. I never did it before in the past, and she was super shocked that I would even go on stage and speak out loud. Yet she still supported me. Whether it was bringing me food, bringing me to rehearsals, showing up to every single show and not missing one. Or even taking care of me after I got sick after every single show. So, thank you, Mom. Any questions?
I'm seriously gonna visit you, like whatever job. I'm also gonna include you in my birthday thank you because my birthday's in 2 weeks. And you're already on my best friend list, so.
Thank you.
What are some of the major lessons you learned from this capstone, things you'll take with you moving forward from the project?
Definitely projecting, because if you had put me in the same place that I am in right now a year ago, I would not, Mr. Quinones wouldn't be able to hear me. I used to talk super low, so it really gave me the comfortability to talk in front of a bunch of people.
Can you pull out a little bit more about Willy Wonka and why you would never want to play that character again?
So I spoke in a very high-pitched voice, and even my body language changed. And it was a role far out of what I really am. I always get casted as a romantic lead or something. So Willy Wonka was completely different. He was very chaotic and loud, and very, very creepy. It was so weird. Any more questions?
What are your plans after high school?
I will be going to HCC to study business, and I will be taking theater there. And actually, coming up, I found out this morning, I got a part in a movie that I would audition for in January. I'll be doing that this year. It's called Urban Ed, and it's about a group of kids, specifically one named Devonny. He is struggling with the street life and art. It's a part I auditioned for. I did not get that part. Instead, I got a side character, which I think is a gang member that tries to mess with him all the time.
Second from last, we have Shane Bourgeois.
So today, we have a very special presentation. It is I, Shane, the director, writer, filmer, and actor in my new film, Rat King. With the help from my small but loyal cast, Rat King is one of my favorite productions in high school. It all started on the theater company field trip into New York last year to go see Beetlejuice. For some reason, what button? That one? Yeah. For some reason, I wrote down in my phone that I was planning to find, kill, and become the Rat King. Don't know why. And thus started my adventure throughout New York City, writing down clues in a notebook that led me to the Rat King's location. Good times, good times. Yeah, I had this green notebook, and it was something, all right. Then I wrote a 16-minute short film for my theater final last year that goes over the fictional Rat King origins. And now I have the opportunity to produce a longer version. That was a couple pictures from last year. Wonderful. In the beginning of the year, I was planning on making a cooking show called Indubitably Scrumptious, which was a fun idea, seeing as I wanted to venture into the culinary field as a career. We filmed an episode with me cooking a pumpkin risotto from scratch, which took about 4 to 5 hours to prepare and film. Thank you, Miss Burnell and Jaden, for sticking around. It was broadcasted on a local television station due to our friends at Holyoke Media. Thank you very much. but I wanted to end off my senior year by writing The Rat King again. Here's some beautiful pictures. Unfortunately, due to conflicts in scheduling, time shortages, and communication skills on my part, I wasn't able to complete my vision of a full-length Rat King. I underestimated how busy my senior year was going to be with the preparations for graduation and making big decisions such as college. I wanted to give a special thanks to the cast that put in hours of their own time to help me film my junior year version and this version of the Rat King. Kian, who left, Camryn Rist, thank you, Devonny, and Nicole, who helped a lot with music and filming. We can show the video now.
Okay, great.
The video that's about to be played is the final battle scene between me and the Rat King. My character is a hunter, so enjoy.
The rat, at last, we see each other plain. Is you're the mouse, you'll wear a crown of shame. Before you say another word, Octavius, before you start acting mischievous, listen to me, there is something I must do. This world needs someone to rule it, and there is none but me who can intercede. In Rat's name, one more day is all I need. Then I'll complete my life's mission. Then I'll return.
You must think me mad.
Yes, I do.
I hunted you across the sweep. Rats like you can never change. A rat such as you.
There's never change. No, I you have no bitches.
Anyway, PMA and Miss Brunel were both a huge part of my high school for me and helped me through the 4 years. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for all coming and listening to my presentation. I look forward to graduation and is whatever left to come. Thank you. No, he wanted to. He wanted to. Can we all ask Kian tell Kian how great he did in that video? Any questions?
So, this scene, I only have one word that I put in here, epic. Do you think this is something that it could be produced with that same essence, that same energy, that same dynamic, because all the elements are there? It's really something that it could and it should be created as a fully produced movie. Is something that you envision possible happening?
Yeah, I'm thinking of continuing filming because we filmed about half the movie before time ran out, and it was really fun. The movie itself is like really funny. So, thanks to my wonderful cast of improvers. So, yeah, I think I could release a full version if I really put energy into it and dedicated. I could do it.
Shane, you mentioned that you didn't get it finished as much as you wanted to because of time management. So, like, what came up for you is like, oh, I gotta handle that piece of how you work as an artist.
What do you mean by that? Like, how?
Well, like in terms of time management, what did you learn? Like, okay, if I want to get projects in on time, I gotta get it.
Right. So before April, I made a whole schedule and asked my cast if there was any, any problems with it. But near the end of the month, everyone was doing stuff because it's nearing the end of the year, so we couldn't really come through. But it's okay. We got a good part done, and it was really fun filming it. Yeah. Anything else? Wonderful. Thank you.
Last but not least, we have Camryn Rist.
Hello, everyone. My name is Camryn Rist, obviously. And for my senior capstone project, I decided to have a fashion show and create my own mini line of clothing. During quarantine, I went through a lot of changes and really explored my passions in a way I never was able to before. And while I've been a multimedia artist for many years, fashion and film really caught my eye as potential careers. So I set my sights on learning to sew and learning to direct and act. My grandmother taught me the basics of sewing about 1.5 years ago, but everything I've learned since then has been completely self-taught. And most of the things I've learned about acting, directing, filming have all been through the PMA program, and Miss Brunel specifically, which I joined in sophomore year during the pandemic online, which wasn't as fun as it is in person. But yeah. So in order to prepare myself for a career in these fields, I used my senior year to design, sew, and showcase each of my original designs in a fashion show, short film kind of thing. So I used some of the designs in my portfolios for art schools. Some of the colleges I've been accepted into are Mass Art, FIT, and Parsons. They're all great options for a career in the arts, and I plan on transferring to somewhere like that after earning my associate's degree in theater at HCC. So, in this project, I aim to express my creativity in a way that I never have before, to promote body positivity by casting a diverse set of models, improve my skill set, and also utilize thrifted and or donated fabrics in my designs for sustainability. So this collection was primarily inspired by my passion for art, and the idea of passion is deeply ingrained in each of the designs. I did have muses from the fashion industry that influenced me, but it mostly just came from the heart. Here's some pictures from the shoot which we did at the MIFA Victory Theater, thanks to Cassie. Yeah. This was a year-long process, and my designs did change throughout the process. Here are a few examples of some original sketches that I made, but as they took form, they changed, I learned through the project that my creative process is unique and that it's okay to let my art change as it may. Yeah, so now onto each of the specific designs. Yeah. The first is titled Tongue Tied, modeled by Tatiana Restrepo, who goes to school here. All of the models, practically all of them, go to school here, and I had a casting call and auditions, and I picked models. So that's where I found my models. This design is a dress completely made from old neckties that I thrifted locally. The dress represents the beginning of a new crush and the endearing nervousness that makes us fumble over our words. Just kind of a play on words with the ties. Yeah. Here's some more pictures of her modeling. The next design is titled Infatuated, modeled by Jairine Perez. This one is a dark brown satin two-piece with white tulle additions. It represents the next stage of love, infatuation. I created a very romantic silhouette to mirror the adoration of new love. And some more pictures. This one also changed a lot too, because in order to fit the model, I'd made it before I cast the model, and then I changed it to fit. So I added like an addition in the front so it would fit her better. And so this is another model before I changed it. So yeah, definitely changed. Yeah, Anaya. The third is titled Kiss, modeled by Anaya Gomez. It's a light gray satin two-piece with sparkly red tulle additions that I got from Miss Brunel. And it's similar to the previous look because it encapsulates the passion and strong emotion that comes with the first kiss. Yeah. And here's more of Anaya strutting her stuff. And so the fourth is titled Strip, modeled by Jomar Nieves. It's a red two-piece set with an off-the-shoulder crop top and a long wraparound skirt. This look emulates the feeling of intimacy, and the mismatched fabric placement and the off-the-shoulder element of the top demonstrate what it may look like to feel stripped. This also, I made the skirt a day before we filmed the shoot because I made a pants, and then the model tried them on the day before, and I didn't like how they looked, so I just made a whole new skirt, which was stressful, but I did it. Some more pictures of him. And I also wanted to have a man in a skirt because I'm a guy and I wear skirts, and I wanted to like bend gender conforms. I don't know how to word that. Gender restraints. The fifth is titled Broken Hearted, modeled by Ashanti Provost. It's an all-black corduroy two-piece with a pair of shorts and a top with a sweetheart neckline. This look stands out because it's stylistically much different than the rest of the looks. It symbolizes the drastic changes that heartbreak brings to us. And the sixth and final design is titled Renewed, modeled by Casey Wagner. It's a short dress made from an old red bedsheet and several lace fabrics gathered together, which I got all from Miss Brunel, and it demonstrates a new sense of self that heartbreak can bring to us, and the uniqueness promotes empowerment. I'm also wearing it as a skirt today because it's multifunctional. So yeah. Each of the 6 designs were carefully crafted to fit the models with these ideas in mind. The mini collection as a whole is meant to epitomize the passion I have for the arts and the intensities of love that can change a person in immeasurable ways. Not only did I create each individual design, I also cast every model and directed hair, makeup, filming, and more. This was the first time that I actually designed and sewed a set of cohesive designs, and it taught me a lot. I had struggles along the way, but I was able to work through and problem solve through each of those challenges, and everything came together at the end of the day. Here's some pictures of the process of like draping and sewing and designing. The pieces come a long way. I hope to use the creations I made this year later on in my career. I can use these for portfolios and just to have more art experience under my belt, because the more experience the better for a career in the arts. During and after college, I hope to use all the valuable skills I have learned to continue creating and living my dreams. Here's some more pictures from the shoot. And I want to give a special shout out to Miss Brunel, as everyone has been, but she just inspired me to actually like go for things. I was very shy at the beginning of high school, and she really brought me out of my shell and showed me things that I never would have thought possible for me as a person. And some more people that helped along the way, Mrs. Brazo, Lewis, and then all the models. And yeah, thank you for watching. And
So for my D block class, though, when the bell rings, remember you have to wait until the second bell to go to third lunch, okay? So be respectful when you're leaving, please. Thank you for being respectful the whole time you were here. We hope you enjoyed it today.
yeah. Yes, that's the whole thing.
Hello?
if there's any questions, please ask.
So, Cam,
Yeah.
you are clearly already a fashion designer. You have your brand, you have your aesthetic. You have shown such professionalism on building your aesthetic and presenting it in such a way with a story, with an inspiration, and even the acknowledgement of your models and having different body shapes and different ways of presenting your work. That is the full package. So you ask the question that passion is calling, will you pick up? I know you will, but what will you say to your passion? What is going to happen next? What is your plan? How do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I'm not sure. I just kind of, I think, like, I have a hard time, like, struggling with just, like, obsessing about the future and like planning everything and hoping that it goes well, and it gives me a lot of anxiety and I struggle with it a bunch. But what I've like learned with this is that I can just see where like my passion takes me, and that whatever happens is gonna happen, and I'm just gonna like trust the process and trust that everything will work out.
I really appreciate that Ms. Brunella has all of that fabric.
Yes, and Ms. Brazo too.
But I want to let you know that my friend Joseph is opening up Paper City Fabrics on High Street. Please share your passion.
I will be there.
And I hope that you will buy lots of material and make wonderful.
I definitely will.
So thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so I love the juxtaposition of your stiff fabrics, so that's that black corduroy,
Yeah.
and then the drape, the unstructured piece, the gray silk especially. But how did you get the biased fabric with all those ties to end up in a structured skirt? There's something happening under that skirt.
It was, so I have no idea what I'm doing, to be honest. I kind of just like go with the flow, and like that's what I did for most of this project. But with the ties, it was really hard because I had to like, you know, find out how some of them would actually stay together, because they're all different types of fabrics. And but I originally was gonna do a top and a skirt. But then I sewed all the ties together first, and then I draped it on the mannequin in like a diagonal kind of way, and I was like, oh, I kind of like how that looks better. And so I did it like that, and I added more pieces, and then in the back there's also like a lace underskirt that, you know, added for that. I used like a button to attach it over using another tie as like the strap and stuff. But yeah, that one definitely went through a lot of like, Jesus.
That is some next level construction.
Thank you.